Part 24. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 233. Ouch. With a long roar, the entire Marineford has turned into a big pit, and a huge beast with a height of 1,000 meters appeared in front of everyone, with armament haki flowing all over its body, looking extraordinary. Kizaru's hands formed a circle, and countless sun rays gathered on his fingertips. After that, the entire Marineford felt dim, and only the place where Kizaru was lit. How is this possible? Bullet still can't believe that he was defeated by Levi like this. He has obviously used his strongest strength. According to the normal plot, shouldn't Levi be severely injured by him? Now Bullet feels that this is not the case. Levi's limit, he is stronger than this. The people shouted excitedly. At this moment, Aokiji's figure appeared on the sea. After the entire sea was frozen again, 10 giant Aokiji, 1,000 meters high, came to Marineford. Akainu, Kizaru, Aokiji, now is not the time to hide your clumsiness, let that Marine and the whole world see how powerful Marine is, Sengoku yelled at the three admirals. As Bullet roared, a fist as big as a hill hit Levi. The punch was extremely fast, and accompanied by a strong wind, the sky above Levi's head darkened. "Honey, be careful," Hancock's expression changed drastically. She could feel the strong wind on Bullet's fist. His huge body gave him unparalleled strength, but his speed did not change at all, which was a bit scary. Sabayati Archipelago is closest to Marineford, and they can all see a burst of white light in the direction of Marineford. "It's all your fault, I'm going to kill you," Bullet's mentality collapsed, and he began to attack the four people at the same time. Without his rationality, his threat came from Tish. Now he is just relying on beast-like instincts to fight, he looked completely fearless and fearless of death. "Bullet, is this all you can do?" Levi's voice came from under his fist, and then he felt his fist being pushed up by an irresistible force, and then his body was pushed out of balance. His mountain-like body was pushed down in an instant. With a loud noise, the entire sea was thrown into waves. "Your journey ends here, Bullet." Akainu's fist was covered with lava, and as his fist fell, Bullet's submarine exploded. When the white light dissipated, everyone was shocked to find that a giant appeared again in the direction of Marineford. It was a perfect body made entirely of thunder and lightning. It looked so perfect no matter where you looked. "Aokiji Admiral! Aokiji Admiral!" They are all a group of monsters. As the battle between Levi and Bullet became more and more powerful, all the people watching the live broadcast felt that their legs were shaking non-stop. The two monsters in front of them had the power to rise up. Use power, this is the real country-destroying level of power. I am afraid that no country can survive their battle for half an hour. "Levi, take a punch from me." "Kizaru Admiral, Kizaru Admiral." "Yes, I lost from the beginning, Captain Roger." Bullet thought of his Captain Roger again, and he kept working hard with Roger as his imaginary enemy, but he forgot that Roger was just relying on his innocence. His physique and swordsmanship have reached that level of strength, and now his huge form is no match for Roger. He has unknowingly gone astray. Although Bullet was very strong, he couldn't please the three admirals and Levi at all. His huge body began to disintegrate under their battle, and in the end, only the body of his submarine was left. Now that the power of Levi and Bullet has frightened the people, Marine must use their powerful power to once again build people's confidence. With Levi's loud shout, the thunder from the entire sky gathered here. From a distance, Marineford had another sun, and with the incandescence, everyone could no longer see the live broadcast. "Let the pirates see your power," the people cheered. Now it was 3 against 2, and Marine had a great chance of winning. "Thunder God's body, Doctor. How can it be?" Bullet was shocked. He had no way to control his power, but when his fist hit Levi, he felt his fist stagnant. No matter how hard he tried, his fist would not move at all. As Bullet's strength reached this point, the third admiral felt awestruck. When Bullet hit the ground, the entire ground did not tremble at all. This showed that Bullet's power had reached its peak. The people's shouts have become more fervent than ever. Marine is their protective umbrella, and now for the first time, they have seen the highest combat power in the entire sea. Amaterasu. I am invincible now, who can stop me? Bullet laughed wildly. He had never felt so powerful in front of him today, and there were so many powerful opponents waiting for him to destroy. Boom. Bullet, although your size has become larger and your strength has become stronger, your haki has also become dispersed. This is useful for low-level opponents, but it is just a target for opponents of the same level. Do you think we won't it become huge? Levi sneered at Bullet. Akainu slammed his fist into the ground. Then, with this fist as the center, the entire ground spread out in all directions like a river of magma. After that, the ground slowly rose, and the magma giant stood up from the ground. Hey ha! It's amazing, it actually absorbed all the light sources in the sky. All the people looked up at the sky, and the whole world felt as if it had entered dusk. The left hand of the pirate king, Bullet, the descendant of the devil, has fallen. How could this happen? Bullet looked at the 4 huge 957s with different shapes in front of him blankly. He always thought that this huge form was unique to him. Now that he saw the 3 Admiral and Levi, he knew that they were how wrong it is. Bullet's fist hit Levi's head, and the entire Marineford was instantly filled with smoke and dust. Pirates, check in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 234. Bullet is dead, this beast-like man is dead. The whole world saw Bullet die. This great pirate who was famous in the sea was the first to fall in this peak battle. Ugh, damn red hair, damn Levi, you didn't even call me in such a big war, Kaido cried very sadly. After he was expelled by Levi in Wanakuni, he had been trying to find trouble with Levi, but Levi's subordinates grew up too fast. After the blind man smiled and summoned a meteorite, he defeated Kaido's pirate group. This was not over yet. The red-haired fleet also surrounded Kaido from behind, causing Kaido to be defeated again. This war is much more ambitious than the Golden Lion's invasion of Marineford alone. The most powerful combat forces in the entire sea have already taken action. Bullet's empty fruit has awakened. This is the first devil fruit to die in Marineford. Those with awakened abilities. When Hancock left, the entire Marineford seemed to fall into a mythical world. The entire Marineford turned into a world of ice and snow for a while, and then turned into a world of lava. Sister, what should we do? Sandersonia asked Hancock. Now the aftermath of the battle with Malinfan also makes them tremble. The power of these monsters is beyond their imagination, and the aftermath of the battle can also be done. Destroy them all. At that time, Momuzagi secretly set fire to the auction house in order to sabotage Heavenly Yaksha Doflamingo's gold fruit auction, intending to steal the gold fruit in the chaos, but she did not expect that she would also encounter Levi, who set the fire. Vice Admiral Crane looked at the scene in front of her and felt deeply powerless. She recalled the scene of the war more than 10 years ago. At that time, Golden Lion was the one who had awakened the devil fruit ability, and Aokiji and others were not as strong as they are now. Hancock, you retreat first. I will use all my strength in the next battle. I can no longer protect you, Levi said to Hancock solemnly. Although Levi was confident that he would not be defeated by Marine, he was afraid that Sengoku would threaten him with Hancock, so he asked Hancock to retreat first. This is Marine 3, Admiral and Levi fighting for control of the world. All the live broadcast bugs have been frozen to death, and the whole world can no longer see the scene of Marineford. At that time, Momuzagi felt that Levi's courage was really amazing. As long as he didn't die midway, he would become a great pirate. but Momuzagi also didn't expect that Levi's strength would grow so fast and be so strong. You lead people back to Nine Snakes Island. I will live and die with Levi. Hancock's eyes were full of determination. Levi was a beam of light in her life. If Levi died, her life would be dark. Hancock no longer feels the value of living. This guy Levi is really lucky to be able to marry such a beautiful wife. Jumping Rabbit's eyes recalled the scene when he saw Levi for the first time. Yin took one look at these dilapidated pirate ships, and then he turned into a flaming pterosaur and followed Kaido. Now that Marine's troops have all evacuated Marineford along with Crane, the current war is no longer something they can participate in. At that time, Levi was still a new pirate who had just gone to sea. After a battle, Levi escaped with the gold fruit. Later, Momuzagi found out that the gold fruit was a gift from Levi to Levi's subordinates. In the new world, one of the 4 sea emperors will be gone, and the entire new world will be at war because of the territory vacated by Whitebeard. Marine will also have the opportunity to recruit troops from all over the world again, and Marine can even regain control of the new world. Okay, we get it, sister, all the guards replied loudly. Hancock is the Emperor of Nine Snakes, and her words are the highest order of the entire Nine Snakes. Look, what is that? Following the admiral of a Marine vice admiral, everyone looked in the direction he pointed, and then everyone's pupils tightened. Kaido-sama. All Marines, stay back. Who won? I wish to win the heart of one person and never be separated. This has always been the love that Momuzagi has longed for, and she once doubted whether this kind of love really existed, but now seeing Hancock in a costume, Momuzagi knew that she had seen that kind of love. The current war is almost the same as the war back then, except that this war is countless times more violent than the previous one. Levi, you have no chance of winning, surrender obediently, Sengoku shouted to Levi. Although the entire Marineford war had twists and turns, Marine's strategy had been completed. Ace, the descendant of the Pirate King, and 4 emperors Whitebeard both died in this war. He is also a miserable person. What an enviable love, Momuzagi's eyes flashed with envy. And Kaido also expected that this was not the only master who would die. When he thought of this, he no longer cared about these defeated men, and he turned into a dragon and headed towards Marineford. If Levi wins, then the whole world will usher in the most turbulent era, and it will be a feast for pirates. Soon it became the world of thunder again. Crane Vice Admiral looked at Hancock standing on a small boat and sighed. Now that Nine Snakes' big ship has gone to Nine Snakes Island, Hancock is now dressed up and becomes even more beautiful. Hancock is even more beautiful now than before. What happened? The old guy Whitebeard is finally dead. Children, come with me to invade the territory left by Whitebeard, Big Mom laughed happily, and then she boarded the ship she had not sailed for a long time and headed towards Whitebeard's territory. Listen, if I am still alive after you go back, then you will bring all the soldiers of Nine Snakes to support us. Hancock made an extremely crazy decision. Hancock's eyes were full of worry. She thought she could help Levi, but now she found that there was nothing she could do. How can this guy be so strong? Looking at the warship destroyed by a huge magma bomb next to him, Crane Vice Admiral ordered all Marines to stay away from Marineford again. But all of this can only be implemented after defeating Levi. It was because of this man that Marine lost a large number of elite Marines in the battle between Golden Lion and Marineford. Now as long as this man is captured, the entire war will be over. Everyone is waiting for the answer. This is a battle that determines the fate of the world. If Marine wins, Marine will be able to completely end the era of great pirates started by One Piece Roger. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 235. This ship, This is the red-haired pirate ship of the Four Emperors. Crane Vice Admiral recognized it immediately. The pirates in this world all have their own personalities. No matter how strong or weak they are, none of them have the same flag or bow collision. Kakuzu. How did the red hair come here? Momuzagi also exclaimed. Hungfa is the last of the four emperors of Jinshi. Although his territory is the smallest among the four emperors, and his power is also the smallest among the four emperors, no one dares to underestimate him, because all the red-haired shanks the only combat power is the small boat in front of me. This is a monster at the same time as Levi. This guy's strength is also unfathomable. But didn't this guy fight shanks in Mariejois? Why did this guy come here? A marine wanted to get closer and intercept the red-haired shanks, but before the warship could get close, they were exploded by the red-hair pirates. Crane Vice Admiral then remembered that the red-hair pirates are the most special pirate group in the entire sea. None of them have demon fruit power, and they all seem to be gunmen. Damn it, you are so underestimating people. Momuzagi's silver teeth were critical, and then the famous sword on her waist was unsheathed, and a brilliant slash was directed towards the red-haired ship. Now Marine's top combat power is in Marineford, as Admiral the substitute Momuzagi is the highest combat power here. And go. Momuzagi Vice Admiral, I've admired him for a long time, BFBH, but I'm here to stop this war. The redhead smiled at Momuzagi. Behind Momuzagi, a marine with squinting eyes followed Momuzagi and flew towards the red-haired ship. He was also Marine's replacement for Admiral. At this moment, an extremely powerful conqueror's haki came towards Levi and others. Everyone's expressions changed drastically, and they stopped in unison. Boss, she is a beauty, the pirates laughed strangely, and some even whistled. Artillery support. Crane Vice Admiral's eyes were fixed on Momuzagi's back, and then she shouted at Marine. The entire Marine warship fired thousands of cannons at the Red Hair pirates, but all the cannonballs were exploded by the Red Hair pirates. Not a single cannonball could land on the Red Hair pirates' ship. In this case, I have no choice but to take action, Shanks said solemnly. Momuzagi, let me help you. Seeing Momuzagi and the red-haired man fighting each other, the T-Dolphin couldn't help but become a little anxious. Everyone, there is no point in your fighting now. Please give me some face and stop it. Enough people have died in this war, Shanks said loudly. The people fighting had no idea about the arrival of the red-haired man. Now they were all focused on the battle, and no one dared to be distracted. The redhead now smiles like the uncle next door, not the feared four emperors. Garp now feels a dull pain in his fist. Compared with Levi's fist, his fist is fragile and vulnerable. Garp seems to have returned to the time when he was just practicing and sparring with instructor. According to Sengoku's estimation, although Levi is powerful, his power is limited. Under the siege of 5 of Marine's top masters, Levi will fall like a bullet. Come on, boss, don't let this little girl defeat you. When the pirates of the Red Hair pirates saw Momuzagi attacking Shanks, they didn't help but kept cheering. Damn it, when, T-Dolphin's forehead silently shed a drop of cold sweat. He didn't even notice how the fat man moved. Don't move, I'll beat you to death. Behind the T-Dolphin, a fat man with a big meat elbow in his mouth pointed a gun at the T-Dolphin's head. Levi's physical skills are even stronger than those of Gu Gaohong. Although Sengoku and others are all powerful, they still can't defeat Levi. Stop joking, I won't let you pass at all, Momuzagi said to the red hair. She would not believe a pirate's words at all. Now Levi is fighting 5 people alone, and he is not tired at all, and he is not falling behind at all. He could see more. Although Marine's artillery attack was fierce, everyone in the Red Hair pirates looked relaxed. It was obvious that they were not using their full strength. Levi, survive a bite, watching the Red Hair pirates heading towards Marineford, Hancock's hands were tightly twisted together. Now that a new force has joined Marineford, he doesn't know how this will affect the entire situation. What impact? Shanks, this is not your style. Levi looked Shanks up and down, as if he was meeting Shanks for the first time. Now an unknown master suddenly appeared, and they didn't know who it was. But Levi is so powerful that he seems to be inhuman. This guy's physical skills have been developed to an unprecedented state. Now his body is much more powerful than Kaido and Charlotte Linlin, and Kaido and Charlotte Linlin are either because of the devil fruit or because of the devil fruit. It's natural, but Levi is the result of his own cultivation, which has to be shocking. 0. Among the speculations about the original plot of One Piece, Shanks is an undercover agent of celestial dragons among the pirates, and Shanks' actions are inconsistent with the character of a pirate, but all of this has nothing to do with Levi. When the T-Dolphin was pointed at by Lake Elu with a pistol, Momuzagi was also subdued by the red hair. The disparity in their strength was too great, and it could not be changed by passion. Because both Momuzagi and the T-Dolphins were subdued by the red hair pirates, the Marines did not dare to fire any more cannonballs. They could only watch the red-haired ship swaggering towards Marine Fan. Is this the red hair pirates? It's so scary. After that, Momuzagi stopped talking nonsense to Shanks and headed directly towards Shanks with the long sword in her hand. How is that possible? Marine can't compromise with pirates. Akainu looked at Shanks and snorted. For Marine's 887 glory, she would never allow a pirate to pass in front of them so arrogantly. Although she knew that she was not the red-haired opponent and she might die, for the faith in her heart, she still faced the red-haired man without hesitation. Leave by boat. Shanks, don't say these useless things. If you can, beat me to death. Then this battle is over. Let me see how much you have improved over the years. Levi's 7-star sword pointed at Shanks, and he made a powerful move. The sword intent made Shanks' expression change drastically. Momuzagi, wait for me. It is really the most ridiculous thing in the world for a pirate leader to pity ordinary people on the sea. Pirates, check in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 236. Levi's strength has exceeded Shanks' imagination. He did not expect that Levi would have such tyrannical strength. They had not seen each other for more than 10 years, but Levi had cultivated to such a tyrannical level. This pirate's swordsmanship is actually stronger than Hawkeye's. Sengoku and others felt awestruck. Although they knew that Shanks' swordsmanship was very strong, this was the first time they saw Shanks' swordsmanship. Shanks' swordsmanship is extremely sharp. Everyone thought that after Shanks lost an arm in East Blue, his strength had been greatly reduced, so Hawkeye stopped challenging him for duels. Now when Shanks takes action, they realize that Shanks' strength is so unfathomable. Although not as good as Levi, he is much more powerful than one of them, Admiral. The entire Marineford was sunk by these people, and the symbol of Marine's honor never existed again. Ice Age. Aokiji's body turned into a cold current and headed towards Levi's body. Now Levi's movements were too fast and his movements must be restricted. How is this possible? Aokiji looked at the 7-star sword passing through his body in shock. He was already in the elemental state. Even armament Haki could not help him now, but he was killed by Levi. A sword pierced through. Aokiji, go in peace. Please give me flowers. Is this my destiny? Akainu looked at his shoulder, and there was a shining sword blade protruding from his shoulder. This is the first time Levi has shown the results of his training. This is Levi's most exciting battle. Although there are rumors that Levi killed Shanks, he doesn't care about anything now. Why me? Kizaru looked at the sword light in front of him in disbelief. Although he was extremely fast, he still could not avoid Levi's sword. That's it, Shanks, this is the real you. I don't know what you are hiding. Levi was stimulating Shanks while fighting with him. What a bunch of annoying flies. Levi chuckled lightly, and then shook the 7-star sword in his hand, and Aokiji's body was shaken into blood foam and disappeared, leaving no trace of his body. Martial Sengoku. Shanks only felt a sharp pain in his arm, as if the arm was no longer his. If Griffin hadn't had gauntlets, Griffin would have lost his hand and fallen into the sea. Akainu's whole body was covered with lava, and half of the sky was burned red. Now he no longer expected to kill Levi. He just wanted to leave a wound on Levi, and he would be satisfied even if Levi left a drop of blood. Shanks watched the brothers who had been with him day and night all die in Levi's hands in an instant. He had never felt so angry before. His conqueror's haki was nearly 50% stronger, even on the entire sea. There were big waves, but it was as if the weather had changed because of Shanks' anger. Levi's strength has surpassed this world so much, and he no longer needs to settle. He will challenge the 5 elders and I'm after this battle, and he doesn't know what level Im's strength has reached. Garp roared. Among the 3 admirals, he had the best relationship with Aokiji, and Aokiji also admired him the most, but now Aokiji died so easily in front of him. Levi, you deserve to die. Looking at the white clouds in front of him, Levi remembered a classic scene in the movie. Then he became playful and struck down with a huge palm made entirely of thunder. Before Kizaru spit out the old blood, he was shattered by Levi's 7-star sword. The way he died was exactly the same as Aokiji. He never thought until his death that he would die because of his appearance. Buddha's shockwave. Garp's whole body was full of energy and blood, and he began to attack Levi without fear of death, but Levi was not afraid at all, and he also started a tit-for-tat battle with Garp. Inuyagami Red Lotus. Because of the lack of Aokiji's precious combat power, the pressure on the others has increased greatly. They are secretly complaining in their hearts. Now that the first casualty has appeared among them, they don't know who is the second. Almost, Shanks. Levi smiled at Shanks, and then he slashed at Shanks' griffin with the 7-star sword in his hand. Buddha's palm. As Levi shouted, Sengoku noticed that a huge eagle eye appeared above his head. Before he could react, the huge palm knocked him into the sea. As Kizaru died, Levi tilted his head slightly, allowing him to pass Shanks' slash. Although Shanks' slash was powerful, everything about him became extremely slow under Levi's god-level reaction. Levi flicked out a finger, and there was a huge thunder. Before anyone could react, Shanks' pirate ship had been blown to pieces, and he didn't know how many of his crew members would survive. Because you are too wretched. That's it, Levi thought for a while, and then he solemnly explained to Kizaru. Thumbs up. As soon as Levi knocked Garp away, Sengoku's shockwave had already arrived in front of Levi. Levi could no longer dodge, he had his arms crossed in front of him. After that, he was hit by Sengoku's shockwave and flew away into the sky. I've never seen this kind of conqueror's haki. Sengoku's eyes were fixed on Shanks. This family was really hidden. If his crew hadn't been killed by Levi, they might not have known about it. Shanks' true strength. Akainu let out a loud shout, and he felt an incomparable desolation in his heart. Now he was the only one left with Marine's top combat power, and he still didn't understand what was going on. Sengoku's glasses flashed, and he finally caught the moment Levi stopped, and an unprecedented shockwave came towards Levi. With Thunder Fruit constantly providing a steady stream of energy, Levi's attack intensity has never changed, but Sengoku and others can no longer hold on. Levi was about to kill Shanks when Garp's fist came in front of Levi. Levi's right fist hit Garp's fist. As Levi's fist swung down, Garp's body crashed into the sea like a meteor. A huge wave arose. Levi's brows furrowed. On Shanks' ship, Shanks' crewmen kept shooting at Levi. These guys' marksmanship was extremely accurate, and their bullets were also attached to the extremely powerful armament haki. With Levi's current he could feel a little itchy all over his body. Although Garp's shockwave was very tyrannical, Levi's physique was too heaven-defying, and his sleeves were only torn. Pirates, Check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 237. Levi originally wanted to stab Akainu in the heart, but at the last moment, Akainu seemed to sense Levi's intention and tilted his shoulder. Ha! With Akainu's loud shout, his shoulder and the long sword in Levi's hand were also broken. The sword withstood Levi's violent output, coupled with Akainu's force, the entire 7-star sword was broken into 2 sections. The severed sword and Akainu's severed arm fell toward the sea. So be it. Levi also threw the remaining half of the 7-star sword into the sea. Now he was no longer strong enough to use the 7-star sword. After Levi threw away the 7-star sword, he laughed and flew out of Marineford. I kept you waiting, Hancock. Looking at Hancock, who was dressed in fine clothes and drifting on the sea, Levi's heart felt like it was being tugged hard. 107 Just be fine. Hancock showed Levi a thrilling smile, and Levi suddenly felt as if the whole world was lighting up. Hancock snuggled gently into Levi's arms. When she and Levi parted ways in Marineford, she felt that the whole world had lost its color, and now she felt like she was alive again. Let's go, I'll take you to kill the heavenly beings. This depressing atmosphere. Sengoku looked back at the others. Now after this battle, Aokiji and Kizaru died, even Akainu lost an arm, and even Garp, known as the Marine Hero, was defeated by Levi. After a snow-white slash, the entire huge thunder ball was split into 2 halves. It was the old man with the sword among the 5 elders who took action. We must find a way to stop him, Sengoku roared. At this moment, Sengoku was no longer as calm as the resourceful general. His hair was messy, even his beard was about to fall out, and his black hair had become white. Deep in the world government, 5 gray-haired old men felt something, and they all looked in the direction of Levi at the same time. A heavy black cloud enveloped the entire Mariejois. The residents of Mariejois seemed to feel something and they all looked up. Shanks smiled bitterly. He originally wanted to mediate this war, but he didn't expect that the entire Red Hair Pirates would be involved. Now the entire 4 emperors are gone. What are you doing to stop me, 5 elders? Levi laughed wildly. Although his thunderballs were constantly being scattered by the 5 elders, every time the 5 elders were scattered, Levi's thunderballs continued to reorganize. Yuxiao wants to see world peace, but this goal is too big. I'm afraid Levi still can't achieve it. Even Levi might become his enemy. At this moment, Marines wearing 0.1 Marine uniforms gradually began to stabilize the order under the leadership of an old man. This is Marshal Kong. This guy is worthy of being a Marine Marshal. He is really good at managing the army. 10 hands. Blow it up for me. But since Levi decided to make a big fuss in Mariejois today, how could he let Kong take these celestial dragons away from Mariejois? This was the promise Levi made to Hancock when he and Hancock escaped from Mariejois. Among his crew, Tetsalo wanted wealth. Levi found the golden fruit for him. Now Tezaro is known as the Golden Emperor. He claims to be the man who controls 30% of the world's Baileys. As expected of the 5 elders, they are really not to be underestimated, Levi laughed, and then Levi gently snapped his fingers. If you dare to hurt celestial dragons, you will be punished. No, that's Mariejois. Levi went to attack Mariejois. Crane Vice Admiral's expression changed drastically. She didn't expect Levi to be so bold and dare to go to Mariejois alone. Lugo wants to avenge Khorasan, and now Lugo has the strength to fight Doflamingo. Just then, a loud voice came from Mariejois. As he snapped his fingers, nearly 1,000 thunderballs that were as huge as before appeared behind him, none of them weaker than the one just now. Now all the thunderballs were covering Mariejois, and the entire sky above Mariejois was covered by lightning. The thunder and lightning of the 5 elders and Levi are constantly approaching Mariejois, and the people in Mariejois are even more frightened. What Enel wanted was to meet the top strong man on the sea, so Levi took him to fight the three admirals, and finally he went to the moon and became the Moon King. Levi breathed softly into Hancock's ear. After that, the figures of the two people rose into the sky. A thunderball as huge as Mariejois appeared in front of everyone. Levi stood in the air as if walking on the ground, his eyes looking down with indifference, his left hand holding Hancock, and his right hand straightened. Monet wanted to protect her sister's strength, and she wanted a devil fruit, so Levi gave her a Logia's devil fruit. Detain the red-haired man in the impel-down prison, and at the same time pass on my order. Let's all support Mariejois. Following Sengoku's order, Marine's warships also began to turn around and head towards Mariejois. Only Baby 5, that silly girl, just wants 98 million belly to pay off her debt. All the people on Mariejois became panicked. Because this is the seat of the world government, it has never experienced the pain of war. Now it was suddenly attacked, and the entire Mariejois was in chaos. Following Levi's loud shout, streaks of thunder struck Mariejois like twisted thunder snakes. The entire Mariejois suffered the heaviest losses. Countless exquisite buildings were shattered by lightning, and even countless celestial dragons died in this catastrophe. During the battle with Levi, he had been overdrawing his life force in exchange for the attack power of the Buddha fruit. If Garp hadn't fished him out of the sea in the end, he might have died in the sea. What is that? Run away. Long before Levi came to Mariejois, he had already expected to encounter the five elders. How could he not be prepared for the five elders? Some people say that these guys are people who have been subjected to immortality surgery by Op fruit. They have always been from the world government. The establishment has survived to this day, and no one knows how strong these guys are. It is such a prosperous place. There are too many evils hidden in this prosperous place. Let me end it. With all due respect, you are powerless to stop Levi. Levi looked at the prosperous scene in front of him from a high altitude and murmured to himself. Hancock looked at Levi with fascinated eyes. She felt that Levi was really handsome now. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 238. Is that you? I'm. Levi laughed. He felt a huge pressure, which was much more powerful than the Marine Admiral. How do you know me? A faint voice sounded in Levi's ears, and Levi realized that a figure wearing a black robe and a mask appeared in front of him. Since ancient times, I know that there are no more than 5 people in my existence. I am very sure that you are definitely not there. Moreover, I have also investigated you. The CPO has used all its strength to investigate for a year, but there is no trace of you. It is as if you suddenly appeared. It popped up above the sea. Can you tell me why? I'm looked at Levi steadily, as if looking at a lifeless statue. His eyes looked through eternity, making Levi feel a burst of pressure. It's a secret. Levi's hand paused, and Hancock obediently stepped on the moon cloth and flew high into the sky. She knew that the celestial dragons in front of her was probably the strongest being in the entire celestial dragons family. I'm 15 is worthy of being the strongest boss among the celestial dragons. His haki, physical skills, and sword skills have all reached an unimaginable level. Chang Qing finally met an opponent who can fight him. It made him even more excited. I didn't expect that there are people in this world who can fight with Lord Im. This Levi is really a monster. He is not even 40 years old yet. Among the 5 elders, the one holding the sword had a trembling voice. He practiced swordsmanship. He originally thought that besides Lord Im, his swordsmanship could be ranked second in the world. Hawkeye is known as the world's greatest swordsman, but in his eyes, Hawkeye's swordsmanship is just interesting. He has no interest in fighting Hawkeye. He can't even remember how many years they have lived. In such a long time, an outstanding young man like Hawkeye would appear every 100 years, but this was the first time he saw a monster like Levi in his long life, which really surprised him. Now Levi actually used his thunder to condense a sword. He and I are inseparable. He relied on the help of the system to be qualified to reach the top of the world in a short time, but I'm had to rely on his own hardships all his life. Xiu Cai has the strength he has today. From a certain point of view, both of them are rivals. I may have made the fruit of eternal life, so he can be forgotten by the long river of time and live to this day. He has practiced hard for nearly 1,000 years, not to mention I'm so amazing. A talented person, even an ordinary person, can become a great master after 1,000 years of practice. Sure enough, there is a master after the five elders. When Kong was the marshal of the armed forces, he felt that the five elders were not the supreme leader. There was a higher being behind the five elders. This guy was the real one. Leader of the celestial dragons. Kill that woman, I'm pointed at Hancock. You dare, if you dare to touch her hair, I will slaughter all the celestial dragons in Mariejois, Levi shouted at him. He did not expect him to be so mean. It doesn't matter, anyway, these rubbish are just puppets put out by celestial dragons, I'm said with a relaxed look. The elites of celestial dragons are practicing hard in a top secret place. These trash who only know how to eat, drink and have fun are the puppets of celestial dragons. The illusion comes out. Seeing the five elders and others approaching rapidly, Levi's power of lightning fruit was also used at its strongest. The powerful thunder drowned everything in Mariejois. The light of these thunders was so powerful that even Sabayati Archipelago and Impel Down could see it clearly. Today was a sleepless night for everyone. None of them expected to see this. It seems that the contest between Whitebeard and Marine has ended. When the people of the pirate world thought that their good days had finally arrived, they found that a more terrifying nightmare had arrived. Levi, this short-lived pirate on the sea, actually appeared again, and his strength frightened everyone. Although they did not see the battle between Marine 3 Admiral and Levi, now Levi appears again. Mariejois committed the murder, but none of the Marine admirals showed up, so they couldn't help but think about it. Haha, the era that belongs to us pirates has finally arrived. Countless pirates were shouting excitedly, and they were all heading towards the nearest island to rob. Now Marines are heading towards Mariejois for reinforcements. This is really a great opportunity for them. The entire world is in the midst of war today. This is the worst of times, and countless residents have become displaced. Who will save us? A gray-haired old man was praying constantly. He had never been as desperate as he is today. Are you just giving in? Young people, pick up your weapons and defend your homeland. A smoking woman waved a battle flag and shouted to the people who were already fleeing. At this moment, the young people who were running away stopped, and boundless courage suddenly emerged in their hearts. They no longer ran away. Now that there were pirates everywhere, where could they run to? Fight these nasty pirates. The residents all picked up the self-defense tools in their hands, and then they were no longer afraid and rushed towards the pirates. Bursts of gunshots rang out behind the residents, and the grinning pirates fell down in rows. Teams of mysterious people dressed in different styles helped them eliminate this wave of pirates. Thank you, great adults. Who are you? A bold resident asked. These people in front of them were obviously not Marines, but they were not pirates either. We are the Revolutionary Army. The smoking woman carrying the battle flag laughed. Then everyone disappeared into the streets and alleys in an instant. Revolutionary Army. All the residents were shocked. They had been listening to reports from the world government and newspapers. The newspapers said that the Revolutionary Army was a group of people more vicious than pirates, but now what the Revolutionary Army did made these residents confused. This kind of thing is not an isolated case. When the Marines were in trouble, the Revolutionary Army went around to save the residents who were massacred by the sea. For a time, the reputation of the entire Revolutionary Army soared. Countless people who had lost their families and were full of hatred joined the Revolutionary Army. They became radical elements in the Revolutionary Army, and the spark has finally turned into a prairie fire. The vigorous development of the Revolutionary Army will no longer be hindered. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 239. Let's go, Sabo, it's time for us to enter the new world. The island of White Earth, Valdigo. Long has never been so excited as he is now. He can feel that his revolutionary cause will be successful. This is the strategy he and Levi set after the meeting. Levi is responsible for containing the top management of Marine, while Long is responsible for liberating the people at the bottom. Even Long didn't expect that Levi would be so radical and his combat power would be so pervert. This is a kind of power that transcends the world. If it weren't for the trump card of I'm in the Celestial Dragons, Levi might have been able to accomplish the great cause of liberating the world by himself. This is the benefit of having extremely powerful force. Once Long Tien really believed that force was not everything, so he created the Revolutionary Army. Now it seems that his vision is still limited to ordinary people. If one blow can destroy the world, then force can do everything. Levi is still fighting against the Celestial Dragons. Although the 5 elders are very strong, Levi is even stronger. He can actually fight alone against the top warriors in the Sea of Wood. Although there are 5 elders who will suddenly break away from the fighting and try to kill Hancock, Hancock is also a Devil Fruit ability awakener, and she is also strong, so the 5 elders cannot defeat her with one blow. Now the entire red line is full of big holes. The once magnificent Mariejois has completely disappeared, and even the red line has been shattered. Hancock, go to the Amazon and wait for me, Levi shouted to Hancock. The current battle was no longer something Hancock could intervene in. On the contrary, her presence gave Levi a weakness. Then you must be careful. Hancock bit her lower lip tightly. She felt that everything today was like a dream. Marineford was gone, and even Mariejois disappeared overnight. Everyone, the battle has just begun, let's continue. Levi laughed wildly, and thunder and lightning surged through his body, making it look as if the god of thunder had descended. The 5 elders looked at each other, and they launched an attack on Levi at the same time. The 5 elders specialize in physical skills, and their physical skills are more powerful than Garp. I'm is waiting for Levi to show a flaw. Once Levi shows a flaw, he will die. Undoubtedly. That's it, have a good fight. Levi's whole body was shaking with excitement. After nearly 10 years, he finally reached the top of the world. Look at my electromagnetic gun. Levi took out a few coins from his pocket, and then the coins flicked toward the 5 elders. Danger! The 5 elders used observation haki to sense the horror of this blow. They hurriedly ran around to avoid it, and 5 white lights passed over their bodies and hit the ground. Boom! With a violent explosion, the entire land of Mariejois was completely blown apart, and a dazzling golden color appeared in front of everyone. What is that? Kong's eyes were filled with shock. A large pit of nearly a kilometer appeared in front of him. Under the red line, it was all metal. Levi popped out 5 coins and they were all stuck on this huge metal wall. Levi has long felt that there is something under the ground, and now it seems that the Celestial Dragons indeed have a big secret. I didn't expect you to discover it. That's right, this is Uranus, I'm also laughed. Uranus is the deepest secret of the entire Celestial Dragons family. Anyone who knows Uranus will die, without exception. Is this Uranus? It looks weird. Levi's observation haki couldn't even feel how long this metal wall was. Pluton is a huge battleship that can destroy an island with one shot, and Poseidon is Shirahoshi who can command all sea kings. Now Uranus has also appeared, and it is unknown what Uranus's ability is. Is this Uranus? Kong's heart was filled with shock. Uranus is the foundation of the celestial dragon's family, and it is precisely because of its existence that the celestial dragons can firmly sit on the throne of the king of the world. As marshal of the army, Kong also came into contact with some secrets about Uranus, but the more he learned, the scarier he felt. So even though he has a hard time with these guys sometimes, even Garp doesn't understand him, he's just so hard. Do you think that Uranus alone can save the celestial dragons? You are so naive, you know, strength is the foundation. Levi sighed faintly, and then as he raised his hand, the entire metal iron on the ground chips appeared around his body, which was the magical effect of the electromagnetic force in Thunderfruit. Let's fight. The iron filings floating in the sky condensed in Levi's hands, and finally a new long sword appeared in Levi's hands. As Levi swung his long sword, a lightning arc nearly 100 feet long swung towards Im's body. How could this happen? Levi's pupils tightened suddenly. When his thunder was about to hit Im, a cyan shield appeared in front of Im. This shield isolated Levi's lightning. Levi's eyes were fixed on the shield. He could tell that Im's current shield was the ability of the barrier fruit. The host of the barrier fruit is Bartolomeo. This guy is Levi's subordinate. Levi is very sure that this guy is alive and well. Now another barrier fruit appears, which makes Levi feel that his brain is confused. Why has the ability of a barrier fruit appeared again? Didn't it mean that the same devil fruit will not appear in the sea? Hancock also recognized the ability of the barrier fruit, Qian Wanghao, and she couldn't help being surprised. Today she felt like her worldview had been greatly impacted by this scene. Isn't your thunder the same type as Enel's thunder fruit? You can do it, so why can't I do it? Didn't answer Hancock directly, but brought up the example of Levi. Levi has always been an omnipotent being in Hancock's eyes. Any miracle that happened to Levi was taken for granted in Hancock's eyes. Under Levi's powerful protagonist aura, she subconsciously ignored the two thunder fruits. Fact. Can you tell me how you did it? Still hasn't thought about how Levi got the ability of thunder fruit while he was alive. You know, the reason why he can do this is because of the accumulation of knowledge in the Uranus knowledge base for nearly 1,000 years. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 240. Don't you want to tell me? It doesn't matter. I'll know everything when I catch you. Seeing Levi's tough attitude, I wasn't surprised at all. Every strong man has his own arrogance. If it were so easy, if he gives in, I'm afraid I will look down on him. That's fine. I've been lonely for too long. I hope you can bring me some fun. You know, being invincible is also a kind of sadness, said with a sigh, and then pointed the sword in his hand at Levi. Momo fruit, 100-fold increase. Following Im's low roar, a magnificent sword energy appeared in the sky between heaven and earth. This slash was so huge, it was like a white rainbow appearing next to the sun. What a strong man this is. The moment Yim's sword energy appeared, Hawkeye, who was still rowing in the sea, suddenly raised his head. He has always been called the world's greatest swordsman. Although he doesn't care about this title, he is still very confident in his swordsmanship. He was just defeated by Levi, and now there is another swordsman who is far better than him. Existence, Eagle Eye is increasingly unable to understand this Tian Hai. Is this the power of celestial dragons? At this moment, Garp and Crane 320 were standing on the same warship in shock. They were heading to Mariejois for support. After seeing Levi's monster-like strength, they were very worried about the fate of Mariejois. Although celestial dragons had many trump cards, based on Rapp's understanding of the five elders, I'm afraid none of the five elders can be Levi's opponent. The slash in front of me is definitely not the slash released by Levi. In other words, Celestial Dragons has a peerless swordsman, and this person is the trump card of Celestial Dragons. This is the power of Momo fruit. Another double demon fruit power comparable to Blackbeard has appeared in the sea. No, even more pervert than Blackbeard, the devil fruit ability he possesses may be beyond Levi's imagination. Im's swordsmanship was originally the best swordsmanship in the sea. After being blessed 100 times by the Momo fruit, it became unimaginably powerful. Levi felt that his strength was already the ceiling of pirates, but when facing this blow, he also felt that his scalp was numb. This guy's strength is really too terrifying. I'm afraid I'm is the one. The lucky child of this world. Levi's figure blurred for a while, and he turned into a bolt of thunder and disappeared in front of the slash. This huge slash fell towards the red line. Boom. With a huge shock, people all over the world felt a tremor. Levi looked down, and the red line, which was originally tall and endlessly wide, was cut in half by Im's sword. The red line is the strongest natural formation in the entire pirate world. After nearly 1,000 years of ocean impact, the red line has been compacted to an unimaginable level. Even the swordsman's slash can only leave a trace on the indestructible red line. There were only shallow traces, but Im's move almost split a planet in half. This kind of strength is simply the combat power of the late Dragon Ball level. Im's strength has far exceeded the upper limit of the pirate world. No wonder some people speculate that Im is a person who had immortality surgery thousands of years ago. After thousands of years of accumulation, let alone being a genius, Im is just a pig. He can also become a canopy marshal. Escape, can you escape? An evil smile appeared on the corner of Im's mouth, and then his body was also wrapped by blue thunder and lightning. No, Levi lamented. Im actually has the ability of Thunder Fruit, which is very difficult to deal with. After that, two blue rays of light continued to chase in the sky. Levi was pure blue, while Imu was constantly switching between blue and gold. Apparently, he also integrated Kizaru's sparkling fruit ability, BFDF. With the blessing of two devil fruit abilities, Im's speed far surpassed that of Levi. Levi threw Hancock far away. Now the aftermath of their battle is too powerful. Although Hancock is the one who has awakened the devil fruit ability, but facing the two gods Levi and Im, she may be torn apart in the aftermath of the battle at any time. Levi's conqueror's haki has reached the top of the sea. It is no exaggeration to say that Levi's haki far surpasses the pirate king Roger. Under observation Haki's prediction, although Im is more than a step faster than Levi, he still couldn't catch up with Levi. Good chance. A flash of light flashed in Levi's eyes as he was escaping, and then a heavy punch with flashing lightning struck hard on the open space. Im's figure suddenly appeared here. The blow was so sudden, Im's body was he instantly bent into a prawn, and he was also stunned by Levi. You have completely angered me. Im's voice was full of anger, and then another Im was split from his body. Im's hand pressed on the split Im, and the scene turned into a blood-red dandelion. As the dandelion sank into Im's body returned to its peak in an instant. Flower fruit and healing fruit, although it is unbelievable, but now it seems that this guy has indeed obtained all the devil fruit abilities. This bold guess appeared in Levi's mind. Im is the highest authority of the world government, and he still has a long lifespan. During this 1,000 years, with the help of the world government, he can obtain the devil fruit ability of the entire world, but Levi did not expect that Im how to retain the devil fruit abilities and allow these devil fruit abilities to reappear on the sea. Levi dropped the long sword in his hand, and then he turned into a bolt of lightning and appeared in front of Im, and at the same time, his fist swung towards Im like a storm. In the past few years of experience, he had brought Marine 6 styles, Murloc Karate, Bochinquan, and almost all martial arts have reached their peak state. Now his devil fruit ability is not as good as Im's. It only depends on how good Im's physical skills are. Im was confused by Levi's attack at first. He hurriedly put up the barrier of the barrier fruit, but under Levi's terrifying physical attack, his barrier exploded into pieces in an instant, and then a transparent round mask appeared on Im's body, which was the ability of the meatball fruit. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 241. Levi suddenly understood Im's intention. After all, a person's wisdom is infinite. When I'm released all the devil fruit, in the past thousands of years, every devil fruit developed by amazing talents, all abilities are controlled by Im. It can be said that Im is the master of devil fruit abilities in the entire world. I'm not a person, he is a living devil fruit tree. Im has not fought close to anyone for nearly 1,000 years, but he is a genius. He reacted almost instantly. His arms turned into sharp blades. At the same time, with every punch he made, there will be cracks in front of him, and he uses the ability of shock fruit to attack Levi. That's it, be stronger, Levi. Im's tone was full of excitement, as if he was a psychopath. He had been invincible for so long that his body was almost exhausted. Numb. Let this battle be more intense. Im pointed his finger at the sky, and then the residents of the entire pirate world saw a strange scene. When the sun was shining high, countless stars appeared in the sky. And these stars got bigger and bigger, and finally all the stars smashed down towards Mariejois. This scene is really like the end of the world. Levi and Im shook their fists and stamped their feet, and countless meteors exploded into rubbles all over the sky. After that, these gravels fell to Im's new minister of Rift. The gravity fruit used by Yumu is much more powerful than Yuxiao's. It is simply a world-destroying fruit. Molan can see that Yumu has developed the devil fruit ability to an unprecedented level, but his conqueror's haki and physical skills but it is slightly inferior. Even so, Im also used countless devil fruit abilities to make up for his lack of physical skills. The entire Mariejois was like a natural disaster. All the forests burned in an instant, and then all the flames were frozen by ice. Where there is ice and fire, one can see Im's talent in developing the devil's physical abilities. As Levi and Im fought faster and faster, the devil fruit ability in Im's hands became less and less. Obviously, he also spent a lot of energy on this battle. Now Im has used Kaido's dragon fruit. This is the fruit with the strongest hand-to-hand combat, and with the blessing of the Momo fruit, Im's battle is truly unstoppable. Tear. With a crisp sound, Im's black cloak was torn apart by Levi. Looking at the slender Im, Levi also wanted to know whether he was a boy or a woman. Many comic fans speculated that Im was a woman. The results will be revealed soon. How is this possible? Levi's expression was full of surprise. After he tore off Im's cloak, the cloak turned into a dead Im, and then Im used flower fruit to separate it again. A new clone. Under Levi's surprised gaze, Im turned this clone into a black cloak, and then he actually put on the cloak. I see. Levi knows how Im became so strong. This is the combined skill of jacket fruit and flower fruit. Using jacket fruit can obtain the characteristics of the ability of the person wearing the jacket. He first used the ability of flower fruit to conjure a clone, and then he puts his own clone on his body, so that he has double his own power. After the effect of the cross-dressing fruit, the originally scary human-shaped jacket was turned into a cape. Now Levi doesn't know how many jackets Im can wear. Levi, I didn't expect you to be able to push me to this point. You are very good. Im's tone was full of praise, and then his body became blurry. The identical figure of Deidao and Im appeared on Levi's body. Forward. In the blink of an eye, Levi was surrounded by 12 Imu. Levi's observation haki carefully sensed the surroundings. He found that the auras of all the Imu were consistent, which meant that these Imu were clones and not hallucinations. This is also the first time for Emolin to encounter a Mariejois-type enemy like I'm. This guy's research on devil fruit has reached the pinnacle. Emolin is sure that in addition to his strong body, this guy definitely has a heart. Or more devil fruit that can restore your own strength. The abilities of these devil fruits form a strange balance, which creates Yumu's invincible power. No wonder the pirates have produced so many great pirates in the past 100 years and still cannot shake the status of the Celestial Dragons unit. With Yumu as a god in tier, no one can make a difference. Please give me flowers. Whitebeard is known as the strongest man in the world, but when facing I'm, even Whitebeard has to kneel down. Levi, go faster, go faster. 12 Iman held long swords and kept slashing at Levi. The devil fruit abilities of these 12 people each have their own characteristics. No one is the same. This is because Levi has the most peak armament haki in the world. Even so, he also feels that his mind is extremely tense. Im's strength can be said to have no weaknesses. 0. No, we have to find a way, otherwise we will die here. Levi's body, which can be said to be made of steel and iron, feels a little too much now. They have been fighting sleeplessly in Mariejois for a month, although they are slightly stronger than Levi, but at their level, if they want to kill Levi, will have to pay a huge price. I won't play anymore. I'll play with you next time. Levi let out a long laugh, and then he plunged into the sea. The current air may have been blocked by and he can only escape underwater. Moreover, his fishman karate has also been practiced to the strongest point, and his combat power has not been lost at all underwater. Want to escape? A flash of light flashed in Im's eyes, and then a clone plunged into the sea. Just when his body was about to touch the sea surface, the huge air cover of the black shadow surrounded him. He used the meatball fruit to compress a huge air shield around his body. After he went into the sea, he found that there was no trace of Levi in the entire sea. Since Levi escaped through the sea, his devil fruit ability could not find out where Molin escaped from. It's so naive to want to escape from my hands so easily. Im's eyes flashed, and then he pointed upward, and the bright moon hanging high in the sky began to approach the pirate world. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 242. What happened? Why does the boundless land seem to be approaching Qinghai? Enel was still living his emperor-like life on the moon at this time. Robots waited on him every day, which made him feel very comfortable, so since he came after arriving here, he never returned to Qinghai. Even when Levi called him, he just sent Urij to deal with it. At this time, Enel discovered that the entire moon was slowly approaching the pirate world, and the speed was getting faster and faster. At this time, all the robots were in a mess, and the entire moon base began to collapse. Everyone, get on board as soon as possible. Enel's figure appeared on the Ark's motto, and then all the robots rushed towards the ship as if they had found their backbone. Is this the hidden power of celestial dragons? Dragon stood on an unknown 450 island. He looked at the moon slowly falling in the distance. He could not hide the shock in his heart. This kind of destruction is the power of heaven and earth really something that humans can possess? The dragon's hand was still holding Levi's life card. This card was very brand new, which meant that Levi had not been damaged in this month's war. The dragon couldn't help but re-evaluate Levi's strength. Levi actually had the strength to compete with Celestial Dragon's trump card can't help but surprise Dragon. The moon has fallen. People in the pirate world also saw this abnormality, and they all rushed to tell each other. As the moon gradually approached, countless tsunamis appeared in the entire sea. This is the gravity of the moon. The tide caused, for a time, countless islands were submerged. Levi, I ask so many people to pay for your burial, you are so proud. Imha laughed wildly. This was the second time he had done such a thing. He had done it once 100 years ago. Big flood. At that time, the world's most powerful fisherman and Joyboy created the Ark Noah, but under Im's plan, Joyboy left a document of apology in the forest of the Fishman Island. Later, in order to punish the fishmen, they can only live on the bottom of the sea for the rest of their lives, and are captured as slaves from time to time. Now this is the second time. The first time was to destroy a country, but now it is to destroy an enemy. But this makes no difference to Im, they are just ants. Boom. The moon turned into a huge fireball in the atmosphere, and two suns appeared in the sky. Then the huge moon crashed into the sea, and the whole world was shaken. Countless floods submerged the islands, and the whole world became filled with mourners. These celestial dragons are so cruel, with the global tsunami triggered by the moon, except for the red line, all other islands were submerged. No, there was one place that was not submerged, and that was Elephant Island. What happened? The residents of Elephant Island looked at the sea water that had risen to the belly of the elephant owner. This was a sea surface they had never seen before. Now that Elephant Island is like this, what about other places? I didn't expect that celestial dragons finally activated Uranus. Doflamingo stood on the white clouds, his eyes looking at Mariejois. Although he didn't know what Uranus was, only Uranus could cause such a terrifying impact. Done. Originally, the red line divided the entire world into three parts, the four seas, the Grand Line and the New World. Now, due to the impact of the moon, the entire red earth of the New World and Grand Line has also been smashed, and huge waves thousands of miles high are crashing down. On top of the red line surrounding the four seas, the current red line has become a giant dam. The floods in the entire New World are blocked from the sea, and only a small amount of flood water can flow from the upside-down mountain to the four seas. Run away, everyone, the Fishman Island is about to collapse. Countless fishmen began to run around. Now the huge air cover outside the Fishman Island has been broken, and all the humans in the Fishman Island have been drowning. The fishman Jinbei is now directing the mermaids to move, but the fish on the sea told him that the sea level in the entire world has risen. Where should we go? Shinong was also confused. Jinbei, where is Shirahoshi now? While Jinbei was distressed, he suddenly heard Levi's voice. It's Mr. Levi. The Fishman Island is saved now. In Jinbei's eyes, Levi is a very magical person. Not only is he very strong, but his wisdom is also top-notch. He will definitely have a way to solve this problem. Times of difficulty. Shirahoshi is in the Dragon Palace. As Jinbei's voice fell, Levi's figure disappeared in front of him, and then Levi appeared in the Dragon Palace. At this time, the Dragon Palace was already in chaos. The Fishman Island King Nipuzan was packing his local treasures and was obviously preparing to escape. Brother Levi, you are finally here, Shirahoshi cheered, and then she carefully placed Levi in her palm. Mr. Levi, what should we do? Nipsun saw Levi arriving, as if he had seen a savior. It's time for Poseidon to take action, Levi smiled at Shirahoshi. Hey, can I really do it? Seeing everyone's eyes turn to her, Shirahoshi's face immediately turned red. She had never been expected so much. Shirahoshi, only you can save the Fishman Island and save the world now, Levi said to Shirahoshi seriously. Seeing Levi's words so solemnly, Shirahoshi's heart became calmer, and she also felt her responsibility. Then she said to Levi, Brother Levi, you tell me what I should do. Shirahoshi can definitely do it. Shirahoshi, I want you to summon all your big friends, those sea kings, the bigger the better, Levi said to Shirahoshi. Afterwards, Levi carefully taught Shirahoshi the precautions for summoning sea kings in 5.9-5, and Shirahoshi began to summon them. At this time, in the endless deep seabed, where there is no sunlight all year round, suddenly blood-red lights Madara appeared one after another. These are the eyes of sea kings. They are so huge, each eye is the size of an ordinary island. Now not only the sea kings near the Fishman Island, but also all the sea kings in Calm Belt have heard Shirahashi's call, so these big guys who have been staying in Calm Belt have left Calm Belt and started to go to the Fishmen Island. Rally. The sky is blocked by something, all the fish people were shocked. They found that their heads were blocked by some unimaginable large creatures that they could not see in full. These creatures were still swimming. As the lights turned on, they discovered that they were unimaginably large sea kings.